Every rejection, every betrayal, every door slammed in your face, they're not roadblocks, they're fuel. The truth is, unbreakable people aren't born that way. They're forged through relentless self-belief and unwavering purpose. Imagine moving through life like an unstoppable force, no more victim mentality, no more giving others the power to define your worth, just pure, unshakable determination. In few moments, I'll show you how to build an unbreakable mindset that transforms every obstacle into opportunity, so you stop being a victim of circumstances and start being the architect of your destiny. Because when you realize that your power comes from within, no external force can ever diminish what you're capable of achieving. 1. The fortress of your own mind. Your mind stands as the single most powerful stronghold that no outside force can ever truly capture, as long as you claim complete authority over it. The divine creator granted you absolute and unshakable rule over your thoughts, and this rule serves as your greatest protection against every attempt to crush, manipulate, or defeat you. Most people give away this sacred gift through lack of understanding, permitting others to fill their minds with terror, uncertainty, and boundaries that do not truly exist. Those who discover and use their mental power become completely unbreakable because they know that all outside situations are simply passing storms that move through their lives without harming their true self. A clear difference exists between being guided and being enslaved. While you may choose to hear what others say, you never again need to allow anyone to command your thoughts or choices. Your mental approach becomes your unbreakable armor against every force that tries to make you smaller. When you fully understand that your thoughts belong to you alone, protected by the laws of nature itself, you see why nothing and nobody can ever destroy you unless you give them that power by surrendering control of your mind. Every single thought that passes through your awareness is your personal property, and no strength on earth can make you think what you refuse to think. This fortress of the mind requires constant attention and care. Like any stronghold, it needs a watchful guard who stays alert to threats that might try to slip past the walls. These threats often come disguised as helpful advice, urgent news, or the opinions of others who claim to know what is best for you. But when you stand as the true guardian of your thoughts, you examine each idea before allowing it entry. The strength of your mental fortress grows through daily practice. Each time you choose your own thoughts rather than accepting what others offer, you add another stone to your protective walls. Each moment you decide to focus on what serves you rather than what frightens you, you deepen the foundation of your inner strength. Many people believe they must react to every situation that comes their way, but the master of the mental fortress knows better. You have the power to choose which battles deserve your attention and which storms you will simply watch pass by. This choice represents true freedom. I-S-N-I, not the ability to do whatever you want, but the wisdom to think whatever serves your highest good. Your thoughts create the lens through which you see the world. When you control this lens, you control your entire experience of life. Circumstances may swirl around you like winds around a mountain, but the mountain remains unmoved because it knows its own strength and position. The person who masters their mental fortress becomes a source of stability for others. When you demonstrate that thoughts can be chosen rather than simply accepted, you show everyone around you what real power looks like. This power does not come from controlling others, but from the complete mastery of your own inner world. Remember that this fortress exists within natural law. Just as gravity works whether you believe in it or not, your dominion over your thoughts remains true whether you use it or ignore it. The choice to claim this power and build strong mental walls stands before you each day, waiting for your decision to become the true ruler of your own mind. 2. The unshakable foundation of self-reliance. Self-reliance stands not as a simple idea to consider, but as the solid ground upon which all personal strength must be built. Complete self-reliance shields you from the tricks, harsh words, and barriers that others try to place in your path. This does not mean living alone or thinking yourself better than others, but rather carrying the quiet certainty that comes from knowing you hold within yourself every tool needed to face whatever life brings your way. People who depend too much on others become easy prey for those who wish to control them, while those who rely on themselves remain forever free because they do not need outside approval or help to know their own worth and ability. Healthy connections with others can make your life richer, while unhealthy dependence opens the door to being controlled and used by those with ill intentions. Draw your power from the endless spring that flows within you rather than from the changing moods and support of other people. When you build true self-reliance, you become like a mighty oak tree whose roots run deep into the earth, able to stand firm against any storm because your foundation reaches down to solid rock that cannot be moved. The self-reliant person understands that external circumstances change like the weather, but their inner strength remains constant. When others withdraw their support or turn against you, the self-reliant individual continues forward because their confidence comes from within, not from the approval of crowds or the promises of fair-weather friends. This foundation requires careful building over time. Each challenge you face alone and overcome adds another layer of strength to your base. Every problem you solve through your own thinking and effort proves to yourself that you carry the answers you need. Like a blacksmith who strengthens metal through fire and hammer, you strengthen your self-reliance through facing difficulties with your own resources. The truly self-reliant person does not reject help when it comes freely given, but neither do they collapse when such help disappears. They understand the difference between choosing to accept assistance and needing to have it. This choice represents true freedom, HMA, the ability to stand alone when necessary, while also being able to work with others when beneficial. Your inner resources run deeper than you might imagine. Within you lies creativity to solve problems, strength to endure hardships, wisdom to make good decisions, and courage to take necessary action. These qualities do not depend on your education, your background, or the opinions others hold about you. They exist as part of your natural inheritance as a human being. Many people spend their lives looking outward for what they already possess inward. They seek validation from others when they could validate themselves. They wait for permission when they already have the authority to act. They search for answers in books and teachers when the clearest guidance comes from their own deep knowing. The person who builds unshakable self-reliance becomes like a lighthouse that stands firm against crashing waves while providing steady guidance to others. This strength attracts respect from those worth knowing and repels those who would take advantage of weakness. When you no longer need others to tell you who you are or what you can accomplish, you discover that people naturally treat you with greater regard. No person, situation, or organization can break what draws its strength from the eternal source that flows within you. This supreme quality makes you completely free from outside control because your security grows from your own soil rather than depending on the shifting ground of other people's moods, promises, or support. In this way, self-reliance becomes not just a useful trait, but the very foundation of an unbreakable life. 3. The alchemy of transmuting every attack into strength. Every harsh word, rejection, betrayal, and assault you encounter holds within it the raw materials needed to forge you into something stronger and more powerful than you were before. What seems designed to crush you actually serves as fuel for your growth when you understand the ancient art of transformation. The greatest victories throughout history have been hammered out in the fires of opposition, and those who seek to destroy you unknowingly provide the very experiences that lead to your greatest triumphs. Every person who tries to make you smaller is actually testing your resolve and building your character, much like a blacksmith uses hammer blows to shape heated iron into a tool of greater worth. These attacks reveal the strength of your position rather than any weakness within you. People only strike at what they see as a threat to their own narrow understanding of the world. Think of a diamond forming deep beneath the earth under tremendous pressure, or a sword being strengthened through repeated heating and cooling. The forces that seem destructive actually create something more valuable than what existed before. In the same way, every challenge you face offers an opportunity to become more resilient, more wise, and more capable than you were yesterday. The master of this transformation art learns to extract the valuable lessons buried within every difficult experience while refusing to absorb the bitter poison that others try to pour into their thoughts. This process demands that you maintain a hopeful outlook that sees every temporary defeat as preparation for future victory. When someone speaks against you, ask yourself what truth might be hidden in their words, even if delivered with ill intent. When circumstances seem to work against you, look for the skills you are developing through the struggle. When others abandon you, recognize the self-reliance you are building. Each apparent setback becomes a setup for something better when viewed through the proper lens. This ability to transform opposition into opportunity requires practice, like any valuable skill. At first, the process may feel unnatural. Your immediate response might be anger, hurt, or despair. But as you train yourself to look deeper, you begin to see patterns. The criticism that stings most often points to an area where you can grow. The rejection that hurts most deeply often redirects you toward a better path. The betrayal that cuts most sharply often reveals who truly deserves your trust. The person who masters this principle becomes like the legendary bird that rises from its own ashes, emerging stronger from every attempt to destroy it. Each trial becomes a teacher, each enemy becomes an unwitting ally in your development, and each obstacle becomes a stepping stone to higher ground. Consider how a tree grows stronger when facing constant winds. Its roots deepen, and its trunk thickens in response to the challenge. The tree that grows in a protected greenhouse remains weak and fragile, while the one that endures storms develops the strength to weather any tempest. Your character develops in much the same way through facing and overcoming opposition. This transformation happens not through denying the reality of attacks or pretending they do not hurt, but through choosing what meaning you assign to these experiences. You can view criticism as evidence of your worthlessness, or as information about how to improve. You can see rejection as proof that you are unlovable, or as guidance toward better opportunities. You can interpret betrayal as reason to trust no one, or as wisdom about choosing your companions more carefully. When you fully embrace this principle, nothing can truly break you because you possess the power to transform